morning, my beautiful souls. So I'm going live here on my YouTube channel. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. If you can, leave a comment. I am wanting you to all join me in this 2023. This is my first video of 2023, and it is about forgiving ourselves. A little bit about forgiving others, but mostly about forgiving ourselves. And the reason I wanted to bring this on is this has made me move so much more smoothly in my life, um, of forgiving myself. It is hard to forgive, or excuse me, it is easy to forgive others sometimes. I know a lot of people hurt us really deeply and it's harder to forgive, but most of the time, little bitty forgiveness is every day we do forgiveness for everyone, like our children or our dog or whatever. We forgive because we love, but we don't forgive ourselves because we don't actually love ourselves fully. We were never taught that we should put ourselves first and to love ourselves, and that way we can forgive ourselves. So I have practiced this for about 9 years now, going on to learning about loving myself. First, in my journey, I found peace. I found peace in my life. And then I learned to love myself. And then it just turned into this magic where I can just forgive everyone and look at them in a different perspective. And that's what it's all about. We can look at people in different perspectives and how their consciousness, the higher consciousness they are, or the lower consciousness they are. And that is all is about the ability to be aware of what we're doing, be aware of what we're thinking, and be aware of what we're feeling. Now, I want to make some examples so people will understand a little bit more. So, when you are a child and you stole something or you spilled something, and your parents was like, oh my God, and then they just forgive you that you trashed the house or, whatever happened, but your parents just forgave you. And then you just went on and you didn't have to worry about it anymore. You knew your parents loved you, they forgave you, and you just went on with it. So then when we get adults, we do more severe things to forgive ourselves for, which is drugs, alcohol. Maybe you slept with your best friend's husband. I mean, I'm just putting examples out, really harsh examples of things that you might not forgive yourself for. You might hold grudges against yourself for years. So here's the thing. We get into these emotions, and this is what happens. So say you get in a place where you're with your friend's husband, and then these emotions come over you, and then this thing happens, and your emotions, in the emotions, you are just in there, and oh my gosh, and then the next day you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? How many people have done something like this? I'm not saying you've slept with somebody's husband, but I'm using this as an example because it's a big one. And this is what we do as an adult, especially like if we're on drugs or alcohol or different things like that. We will do things that we don't mean to do. And then tomorrow, the regret on all that. And then we're hanging on to this for 20 years. So imagine you did this with your best friend's husband. So now tomorrow comes and you're like, oh my God. Well, then you do this for 20 years. You hold this against you for 20 years. You cannot move forward with that. Now, I'm hoping no one does this and no one has this big dramatic event like that in their life. But so many people do, because we let our emotions take over us. And now we have to forgive ourselves. So here's the thing, because there's called emotional intelligence, and because you weren't intelligent enough to grab your emotions and say, nope, can't do that. I wouldn't do that. That's the standards of I wouldn't, that you had to put boundaries. That's your standard. You wouldn't do that. Then you grab it right then. It's called emotional intelligence. But because you didn't know that wasn't aware, you didn't have that emotional intelligence at that time, you can forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself if you want to move forward. I see so many people say, well, I've done drugs, mostly I did drugs and drinking, and now I can't forgive myself because of my children or what I've done to them. But if you don't forgive yourself and let it go, then you won't be able to move on to be the better mother, father, whatever in this moment on. So you have to let this go and not feel the guilt and shame to bring it into the world, because you're trying to get rid of all that. So now you can go on and be the best person that you can be in this moment and forward. And the reason I'm saying this is I've done some really bad things, harsh things, and I had to learn to let myself let it go. And it was hard. I didn't just like, oh, I just let it go. You just have to look at it like you were a person that did not know. You are a child of God that forgives, child of the universe, whatever you praise. And you just say to yourself, I forgive myself for doing that. I did not know at the time. I have belittled a man, treated him like a dog. And I believed at the time that I was doing it that it was the thing to do because that's what I was taught. Everything is a program that we were taught, and then we do this stuff and then we feel guilty about it, and we have to get rid of that. You can get rid of the program and forgive yourself, but you have to do it. You can't go back and say, well, my mom did this and my dad did this. No, you have to take responsibility, the ability to respond to your feelings and your thoughts and your mind and say, okay, I did this and I accept it. There's nothing I can do. I can't go back and change it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and let myself off the hook, because if I don't, I can't move forward. And use something to move forward too. I need to move forward for my kids. I need to move forward for myself. Now, will people bring it up and will it come back in your awareness? Absolutely. People like to tell us the bad things that we've done. Unfortunately, that's where you come up with your intelligence again. I am not allowing that. That's boundaries. No, I know that I did that. That's my past. I can't go back and change it. I can only change right now. And I want to move forward with my life and have a wonderful life. So that's where we need to start. So we have to start by forgiving ourselves for things that we didn't know that we were doing. Like I said, at the time when I was bullying and belittling and being a narcissist, basically, I did not know any way other than this because that's what I seen. So I didn't know. Now that I know, I would never do that in a million years. But I also had to forgive the people and myself. Oh my gosh, I just harmed these people. I probably made them feel this small. But I've had to forgive myself. And if I don't forgive myself, I can't move forward, you guys, and neither can you. You can't hold grudges against yourself, guilt and shame, just like you wouldn't others. So here's the thing, and it says, treat yourself, as your neighbor, as your loved one, be your best friend. You wouldn't, if you were going to let go of something that your friend did to you and forgive them, it would be easier than to let yourself go. Now, forgiveness is in the mind. Forgiveness is in the heart and our body, but in our mind will always come back and say, but you did that. And you just say, no, I know I did that. Thank you for reminding me. But no, I forgive myself and I'm going to move on. Because if you do not forgive yourself, you will not move on to be the best version of yourself. The person that gets off the drugs, the person that does good things for humanity, the person. I have changed so much, and it's because of forgiving myself. And then once you forgive yourself, you can start loving yourself and loving being around yourself and being the person that you are. And look at that thing that you did or thing that somebody did to you, because this is how you forgive other people, and say, what has this taught me? This has taught me so much. We get into these relationships or friendships or whatever, and then bad things happen. And that is just something to tell us what we don't want. And we have to go into these relationships. We have to be in these so it lets us know what we do want. So we are going to have the bad job because we're like, I don't want that job. I don't want this relationship. I don't want that person around me as a friend. You have to do that in the bad to see what you really want. And then you have to forgive yourself. I allowed him to hurt me. I allowed it, but you weren't aware. So the best thing for you to do is to be aware of what you're saying, thinking, doing, and being, because that's where everything's going to come into play. Your forgiveness for people, forgiveness for yourself, the love that you have for yourself. So, and I do stuff wrong all the time, little bitty stuff, but nothing big and major will I do anymore because I am aware. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware of what I'm saying. Even if I do spat off and say something because I'm hungry or because I'm tired, then I will always go back and be like, I am so sorry. Like, I was just so tired. We could say that. We can really mean it. And you will mean it at this time. I wrote down some notes, so I want to, go over them and make sure I said everything. Oh, not forgiving yourself is putting yourself in a prison, and it's holding yourself in a punishment. I'm going to punish myself for doing that over and over and over and over. So if you did something 5 years ago and you're still not forgiving yourself for it, you're still having it come up today, and you're just staying in a prison. So you've got to let it go, and write down some stuff. Say, I, God, higher self, whatever you might say, I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive myself. Please show me how if you don't know how. Journal it out. Why should I forgive myself? You can't just keep holding on to these grudges for yourself, because you will not move forward. You will keep going back to the loop. So I'm a drug addict and I'm alcoholic and I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to be a drug addict and back. I keep going and I'm going to get off, and then I'm going to go back because I can't forgive myself. Oh, look what I've done to people. Oh my God, here I go. It's a loop. You've got to jump out of that loop and say, I forgive myself. That was the old me. This is the new me. Here I am. And this is the perfect day to choose that. Choose yourself. 2023, the new me. The new me. I forgive my past because I cannot change it, no matter how bad it is, and move to be the better person, the better version of yourself. It's amazing. It's a weakness to hold on to this. It's strength. It makes you so much stronger to forgive. You're the stronger person to forgive. You're the stronger person to forgive other people. And here's most of the things that's about forgiveness. If you want to forgive somebody and you're like, I'm not forgiving them because they've done this to me, those people are on living their dream of life, all this other stuff. They don't even know you're not forgiving. They do not know. You are holding yourself into the prison. You are punishing yourself, letting go and giving it away to God, your higher self, and whoever you have to give it to. I write FU letters, FU, knowing what that says, burn it, get it out of your body and say, I'm done. I'm done with that part of my life, and do little baby steps. Do not just jump into this great big, oh my God, I'm going to be this person. Do baby steps. I've been doing spirituality for about 9 or 10 years now, and it has taken me this far to love myself, to forgive myself, to forgive other people. It's a process, you guys. It's a process, but start today. Start today. Okay, let me look over this. I went over about everything I wanted to say. And maybe if I didn't, I will put on a short but please leave your messages. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you can forgive yourself for everything and other people too. Once you look at yourself and be like, I didn't have the knowledge back then. I didn't have the intelligence back then. I didn't have the awareness back then to when I did this. Maybe that person didn't either. So maybe that's how you can forgive other people. Because if you want to do anything great in your life, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive others because you're punishing yourself. That's the bottom line. You are punishing yourself. And we believe, I've had so many people say, well, oh, they did this to me and I cannot, I'm not going to let that go. You're not letting it go. These people are off living their dream life, have 10 kids with another woman, and you're over here still going, oh my God, I'm not letting it go. And then until you let it go, you cannot bring in, because we are a vibrational match to whatever we bring in. If you're still holding grudges and shame and guilt, you are collecting shame and guilt and grudges results throughout your life. Oh my God, you guys. Whew, I just feel chills going through my body because that was me not too long ago. That was me not forgiving, thinking that I was punishing somebody. I wasn't punishing anybody. I was punishing me. I was punishing me. I was living in my own prison. And now I choose this year, and I've been practicing this for a couple years, but this year I choose to give myself everything that I never could before. So, and everything that I want. I'm going to write stuff down. You guys, if you want stuff out of your body, just write it down. Just get it out. Like I said, write that letter and get it out. You don't have to go to the person and forgive them. You can, and forgive yourself. Write down, when you were a little girl, you didn't know any better. When that happened to you, it wasn't your fault. A lot of people go through like trauma and it's somebody else did to you, and then you take the burden on and now you did it to yourself. You did not. Forgive yourself. Forgive that other person. There are so many people in this world that have forgave people that has killed their kids. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would feel like. But if they could do that, you could forgive yourself. And the only reason I'm wanting you to do this is so you can move on to the best version of yourself and give yourself everything that you ever wanted. I see a lot of people mainly I am surrounded by people that do drugs and stuff like that. And I can see their guilt. I can hear their guilt. But if you stop it today, and then just go on from here and say, that's not me anymore, that will move you forward. But if you keep coming back to the guilt and the shame, you will do the drugs again and you will drink again because you don't want to feel the pain. But just get that pain out. Just forgive yourself. God will forgive you. God forgives anyone. That doesn't mean to go back and do it. God forgives somebody that murders somebody. Yes, that doesn't mean go murder somebody. You know what I'm saying. We're all smart, intelligent people here. Just forgive yourself and make this the best year ever, you guys. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe if you would like. And I love you so much. And if you want to hear anything else about me and my life coaching, there's links down below. And I will be doing a video every Sunday, maybe more. And I will be doing shorts every day. All right, let me know what you think about forgiveness for yourself and others, and just let me know. I love you so much. Bye.